it's Adrian. Welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays! Now that Thanksgiving is officially come and gone, I am here to kick off the Christmas season with my very first original Christmas tag. I am very excited. While I was planning out my Christmas videos and looking for a Christmas tag, I didn't find quite one that I wanted to do this year. So I thought that I'd come up with my own and combine my favorite Christmas thing with my favorite thing in general. So here I am today to bring you the Christmas cookie book tag, because who doesn't love Christmas cookies and who doesn't love books? I've got 10 questions for you, so let's just jump right in. Number 1 is the chocolate chip cookie, the cookie that's comforting in any season. Name an old favorite. One of my favorite books that I read all the time, that was my favorite since I was a kid, that actually gets more popular around the holidays, is The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams Bianio. I talk about this book a lot on my channel. In fact, I've got a couple of special things planned for this book for the holiday season. I love this book. My mom read this to us when we were kids once, when we were going through a really difficult time, and since then it's been a Christmas tradition. And it's just the most beautiful little child's book I have ever read. My Velveteen Rabbit collection that you can't see because it's on top of my bookshelf, it's just growing. I've never really been a book collector, but I've been collecting these books and Velveteen Rabbits, and it's just my favorite. Number 2 is Biscotti, the cookie that's tough to bite into but totally worth the effort. A book that was difficult for you to get into, but you're so glad you stuck through to the end. For this one, believe it or not, I'm gonna go with Outlander. I talk about this book a lot on my channel because I really love the series, but I almost DNF'd this first book probably like 3 or 4 times. The first third of the book was kind of boring for me. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like it until she actually got into Scotland and things started happening. I just didn't like the book. I know these books are hit or miss. You either love them or you hate them, but I personally am really glad that I stuck through these because I have only one book left in the series and it is probably one of my favorite book series. It's just a guilty pleasure. I can't help it. So I'm so glad that I stuck through this one, even though the beginning of it kind of killed me and I couldn't bite into it. Question number 3 is the sugar cookie, the cookie that comes in all shapes and sizes. Give a diverse recommendation. For this one, I'm going to go with Someone Has to Die by Jim Bouton. I will go ahead and say that this was not my favorite read. I think I only gave this about 3 stars. I found the story to be a little bit predictable, but what I did love was the topic of the book. This is a book about religious acceptance and equality and learning how to live side by side with all the many religions that are in the world. This is a Christian fiction book. It follows a Christian family living in a Muslim neighborhood and a Muslim family, and the two families learning how to coexist and accept each other in what they believe. So while this wasn't my favorite book, I still recommend it because it's a very relevant topic and I especially enjoyed the setting. I haven't read many books that take place in Indonesia, so I enjoyed learning about the culture and the traditions and the geography of Indonesia, and it was just really interesting for me. Number 4 is Peanut Butter Blossoms. Here's an interesting piece of information for you. Peanut Butter Blossoms were actually an accident and they were rejected from the county fair, but eventually, slowly and surely, they made it to be a Christmas classic. So, Peanut Butter Blossoms, the underdog cookie that eventually became a Christmas classic. Name a character that slowly but surely grew on you. For this one, I am gonna go with Cassie from The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Clutter. This one, I know, has had some mixed reviews. I buddy read this with a couple of people and they DNF'd it because the book was really tough. It definitely is a tough book. There are trigger warnings for all kinds of abuse. I personally enjoyed this book, and the reason that I'm going with Cassie is because she really did grow on me. I really saw Cassie go from sort of an unlikable teenager. She wasn't exactly unlikable, but she wasn't my favorite character, but she grew into a woman who was wise and made decisions beyond her years. Just like the Peanut Butter Blossom, she grew on me, and now her character development is one of my favorites of all time. Number 5 is Snickerdoodles, the cookie with the name that you can't say without smiling. Name a book that made you smile or laugh. Come on guys, I can't say Snickerdoodles without smiling. It's just a funny name. I've got 2 for this one. First of all, I'm gonna go with any Colleen Hoover book. I know, again, Colleen Hoover books are either hit or miss. You either love them or you hate them. I personally love them because she writes things that just make me laugh out loud. These books make me crack up and they make me cry. I love them because she's got some sarcastic humor, but they're not necessarily a humorous book. So for a humorous book, I am gonna go with Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. Again, this book kills me. If you can get your hands on the audiobook, you should listen to the audiobook because this woman is hysterical. Jenny Lawson's got another memoir book as well, but this one particularly deals with mental health, and she does it in a funny but very real way, and this book made me laugh out loud almost the whole way through. Cookie number 6 is the fruitcake cookie, the cake that should never have been turned into a cookie. Name a book that you could do without. If any of you have been around for a while, you will probably know my answer to this, but I, in the interest of picking books that I don't talk about very often, am going to go with A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius by Dave Eggers. This book was weird. It was sort of a non-fiction book about his journey raising his brother after both of his parents died of cancer. The reason that I picked this book is because I read the introduction, and the introduction was hilarious. But the book just got to be too weird. I think I couldn't relate to it, and I didn't like it. Cookie number 7 is The Gingerbread House. It's more than just a cookie, it's a masterpiece. A book that has the best writing and or world building. I wanted to talk about a book that I don't talk about often, but I just can't because there's nothing, in my opinion, that beats the world building in this series, and for this I'm going with Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. The world building in this book in every aspect is phenomenal. The magic system is so complicated and so well written about and done fantastically. The kingdom is wonderful, the character developments are wonderful. I just love these books because they are complicated in magic, in politics, in every way, and they are done so well. Absolutely phenomenal. Best world building I have yet to read about, in my opinion. Cookie number 8, Cookies Baked Especially for Santa, a book that you plan on reading this holiday season, holiday or otherwise. I've got 2. One of them is a holiday book, another one is a book that I would like to read this holiday season, and it's kind of popular in the holidays. The first one is My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This is an anthology of short stories. I actually wanted to read this last year, but I haven't had time. And the second one is Little Women by Louise May Alcott. I've been wanting to read this book for a while, and I get really into classics around Christmas time. I don't know what it is, but Christmas time is the time of year where I'm more interested in reading classics than any other time of the year, so I thought this would be a perfect time to finally pick that one up as well. Number 9 is Cookie Swap. Tell us your favorite holiday cookie, and if you'd like to, leave the recipe or a link to the recipe down in the description box below. My favorite Christmas cookie is biscotti. I love biscotti. I think it's because I like to dunk my cookies, whether it's in milk or tea or coffee, and the biscotti you can dunk and it just won't get mushy, but you get that nice coffee flavor mixed with the cookie flavor. Oh. I will leave a link to my favorite biscotti recipe down below. It's the cappuccino biscotti. I make them every year for Christmas. They are fantastic. And finally, number 10 is A Glass of Milk to Wash It All Down. What is your favorite holiday drink? Mine is Irish coffee. I know that's not necessarily particularly a holiday drink, but I love to drink it around the holidays. I shared last year a link to my favorite Irish coffee cream. I will leave it in the description box for you. Again, it is phenomenal. I make it every holiday season and it lasts me well throughout December, and it is fantastic. You should try it. There wraps up the Christmas cookie book tag. I'm going to tag a bunch of people in the description box, but let's just face it, I don't have time to go and find everybody's channel and tag everybody, but I do tag everybody. If you like Christmas cookies and you like books, then you should do this tag. And if you don't like Christmas cookies and you don't like books, what kind of person are you? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't yet, I would love for you to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.